Ghana for. And yen any kaya asem say home sweet home. There's no way sweeter and better than home. Yen so sakaya asem say nowhere cool. So if you believe that nowhere is cool, why are we running from our home country to go search for greener pastures elsewhere? Why are we doing this? I've been telling my friends, my relatives, my loved ones, I've been preaching on this channel. Oftentimes that let's sit back home, work, put our mind, be thinking on our toes, put resources, time and energy into developing our own country. Let's put our leaders on their toes. Because that is their responsibility to develop this country for us. Rather than searching for or looking for a software around it by migrating from this country to someone's country. Buying or no dear, offer a man share the country. Now, now we repeat, we enjoy those benefits. Ya cry to chroma crap crap Nigerians for Baha, ya yonko ya down for Nigerians crap back mapu. No my business 1 2 bino moon yes near farm mo. Near feel jealous, near no more ya no more ya chum some come chrome. Ya to chroma na circle for some more permanent Nigerians for other ya omo jom shops. They are making more money than them. Ya ntiana aboso kind for permanent Nigerians for other ya they are making more money than them. They are taking their work away. Omo jom ejuma. It's just normal human instincts and our nature. Any person in the bind, normal, bro. Say, uno papa, for example, uno parents eti. What you say? Uno parents neti. And they be no siblings be, and no parents na neti. And it be okay as be. I bet someone change. Not all of a sudden, you know. So okay as no, I bet someone change no parents. Who parents? And now your cousin gets the praises and adorations from your parents more than what you guys get from your biological parents, and now you guys being the biological children of your parents. How would you guys feel in this scenario? How would you be jealous, right? It's normal human nature now. Soon in the bind, it's you're too free. African country see it doesn't make sense. Honestly speaking, it doesn't make sense. Me, I've always been saying that the only time I travel out from this country is maybe war be a chroma. Say be a war, be civil war, be an ant to be and be me free to one home. And now I'm going out to go on a vacation, bro. There's no way I'll save up money, pack up my tools and materials, travel or migrate to someone's country in search of greener pastures. But there's everything at my disposal in this same country for me to grow, to develop, to make it, to be successful. The problem is our leaders, number one, and number two, some of our people, the way we think, the way we see our perspectives about development. Most of us are ignorant. That one is true. Most of Ghanaians are ignorant. We don't know what's up, what's going on, how the system runs, and all that. Most of us are ignorant, and they're not no. But what is going on? Why do we tend to run or migrate from this country to go search for greener pastures elsewhere? It's because of the South Africa. When I started, I think last 2 weeks about, right? South Africa for some more. Let's come back to our country. Let's come develop our own country, right? And yes, South Africa on Kwan on Medo Mupamian, America. Now I say I don't know trap a better than so Pamian. Also Pami migrants, illegal immigrants. Some people are saying is also sacking legal migrants and so. And yeah, US and Spain, I think France and Italy. They have done protests. Their citizens have done protests, telling their government to sack the immigrants out of their country because the migrants or the immigrants are taking their jobs. They are taking their You get me? They are occupying their spaces. Same way so Ghana hands Nigerian for so Barbie Bria. Yes, you can't almost someone the omunko. Normal soon in the bind, nipa soon in the bind. Our brother, Mr. Sarasanan of Tintum Network, has done a video about the Operation Dudula by the South Africans, whose aim is to drive away all African nationals from their country because they think they are taking their jobs. They think we are taking their women. They think, for whatever reasons, they are sacking us. And Ghana Fulga, because the Ghanaians are saying that that's not the right way to do it. That is not the right way to do it. And we are going to react to the video by Mr. Annan of Tuntum Network, and I'll give my 2 cents. I go by the name Niama, and this is Ghana First. If this is your first time coming across the content from this channel and find value in it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment. If
we don't stay here and develop what we have, we will never be respected and never treated as people with equal intrinsic values. Ghana is home. Come home. There is life right here in Ghana. It's okay to stay right here. You can make it right here in Ghana.
Ghana is your home. It doesn't make sense. Oh no, but now all of a sudden, but say if you need the beam, or talk now another family's home, he's going to live with another family because he feels or he thinks that family is well off or better than its original home. Doesn't make sense, or would that make sense if you as a parent, oh no, but if now all of a sudden, but say mu nisikent and I'm not even or mu talk or with another family. Would that make sense to you guys? Ghanaians, let's reason. Let's reason. Please and please and please. It's not because most of us are ignorant. But yeah, you need the course now. Yes, we still go ahead to do certain things. It's I don't know what drives you guys. I don't know.
South Africa is such an interesting place to visit. Folks, I've visited and I've mingled with the people, and I believe I'm qualified to speak on this subject. My name is Cyrus, and this is Tuntum Network in Accra, Ghana, by the way. Now, there is a video making waves of how a group of South Africans are going about checking on the status, immigration status of other African nationals in their cities and demanding that they leave their country. Now, in this video I'm about to play, ladies and gentlemen, the South African group met up with a Ghanaian brother who I suppose sells items in their community or maybe in the streets, because it's very common, and checked him on his paperwork and demanded that he leaves the country. I have an opinion on this, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure it's not what you actually have in mind, but I first need to let you see the video and then I return and give my 2 cents about it. Let's take a look at the video.
We are fixing this continent. This thing of you guys moving from one country to the other, I suspect it's no longer working. We don't want this as African people anymore. We are tired of seeing African migrants moving all over the world, refusing to fix your own countries. Now we're making it very clear to you guys, Utitina, we don't want you here. We want you to fix your countries. Now you came here with a traveling document. You came with a passport. You know that you are a visitor, but where?
See the confidence, see the I don't know whether to call it arrogance or, but how she's talking to her fellow Ghanaian. Say, yo, we don't want you guys here. Supposing say we are better than South Africa. Just imagine, say Ghana was some place to be and be successful. Like Ghana was a developed country. You think this woman can talk to our fellow Ghanaian like this, our fellow brother like this? When him say, yo, if you want to go and back in Ghana here, it's that respect is so shown on. There's no way she's going to accord you with that respect, because already why you want to, you've made yourself less for her by even migrating to a country to go search for greener pastures in her country. You've made yourself less to her. And honestly, say I'm I'm better than you. I'm a better human being than you because what about me feel, right? What about me feel? So fear ya come back. It's no matter how she sees fit to treat you. That's how she will treat you. That's how she will treat you. And this conversation saying the way South Africa are going about checking us, and that's not the right way to go about this situation, about this immigrant situation. We will agree that no country wants illegal immigrants in their country. It is true, and I condemn South Africa for doing that. I think it's time for them to leave it to their authorities to do things like this. In Ghana, here we did say by taking away the Nigerians and the Lebanese people to their various countries. But I think the following week they came back to Ghana again. I don't know how they entered into our country through our borders. I don't know how. But our authorities, not we the citizens, our authorities took their responsibility to what? To take them out of the country, most of them. And we all are saying that the right thing to do is through the authorities. It's agreed. But we should also remember that how I will treat you is different from how someone will treat you. Right? And in this case, how she sees fit to treat you, someone will treat you. And though you can condemn the morality and all that, it's more of like your word against a word. Like, okay, what's my meaning? Me come na me fear na me hear the person ya wo how on then. If you don't like how I'm treating you, then leave. Simple and clear. That's how this whole conversation, this whole encounter is like this whole Operation Dudula. That's how I see it. What me fear, and I'm mistreating you, I'm maltreating you. If you think you don't like the treatment I'm giving to you, just go to your house and it's not like you came to seek refuge, like maybe like to come in there because we come maybe ya pay baby mama some bet now and I'm treat you that way. Nah. Comfortably, you saved up money, you gathered your goods, your luggage, flew. What the far from what the far from not be South Africa.
Decided to come and integrate in our communities. You know very well that what you have done is wrong.
How many children do you have here?
We can come to Ghana and do what you're doing.
People's homes.
Eh? Now you are carrying a bucket. It's 11 a.m. You are supposed to be fighting the government of Ghana there to ensure that they're getting things right.
No, there's no fight in Ghana. You must fight what they
Where's
did.
your papers?
Passport.
Passport.
Where's the passport?
Take it out.
Let me see your passport. Let me see. Luna. Okay, tell me, who's the police officer that you are bribing to certify these things for you? Baba, let me tell you, I'm not police. These things, let me tell you, you know by law you're not supposed to certify as an immigrant. You're not allowed to certify your passport. No. Okay, why do you certify your passport in a foreign land? Okay. Let's just start there. Why do you certify your passport in a foreign land?
It was raining.
You guys now go Facebook, can you?
It was raining these days, and when you go out with the passport, sometimes it gets spoiled. That's why I certify so that it won't spoil.
Baba, Ghana don't do that. Ghana don't do that.
All right, sharp.
Ghana
Let me show you.
is African country that is.
Let me show you that when you are abusing our systems, on the 10th of April, the 10th of April, you entered your country when the very same day you came back when it's a proof. Proof. Here's the proof.
Crocodile can't go.
You went to Ghana on the 10th and then you came back. No, because here it says you exited Ghana to South Africa. When here it says you entered, here you exited. And it's the same date. It's the 10th of April, 10th of April.
This stamp you got there in Elof Street on the street. This is where you got the stamp. Oh, they've got a connection here.
No.
I am telling you, that's where they buy it from.
Now,
in Africa, any fellow brother and Ekasa, or making statement, be said, this is the time you guys should go to your country and put pressure on your government to fix the country for you guys. And that statement is very, 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 very true. Because I think that's what they are doing now. And I might be wrong, but I think they have cried to their government, to their authorities about this illegal migration or immigrant situation in their country. And their government is not doing anything, or it seems or looks like the government is not doing anything. So they've taken matters into their own hands. They've taken matters into their own hands, which again I'm condemning, because that's not the right thing to go. And also on top of it, they are also being violent. They are also becoming violent. They are hitting people, looting from people's shops, burning people's shops and businesses and all that, which is very, very, very wrong. It's very, very bad. But if you think they are maltreating you guys, just leave and go to your country. You knew you will face maltreatment, or you will face this kind of harsh treatment, and you still carry your bag with your family and move to South Africa. So if you think you can't handle that kind of environment, just move to your country. Why not do own CSC in mind? Now they will enjoy. You should come and just enjoy those benefits in their country. Why don't you stay back in your home and also fix your country? Ghana said be cause never shoot. They are doing protests, they are doing demonstrations. You get some Ghanaians who tell you say and I understand most Ghanaians are ignorant. They don't know how governance work. Right? They have not been educated enough to understand that the actions of the people at the top, the actions of our leaders, the actions of government affect the citizens or the people in that country directly. And it's not wrong, it's even your right to speak against something, or to try and check the government when you think or when you feel like the government is doing something wrong. It is your right to do that by protesting, demonstrating. Who they cause on the power. Youth it is in one thing, so it too abandoned every idea. So they impeach the president. Ghana say because galamse nyaji tum say galamse say ensase. Now youth property as ya want say their demonstration against it. Some Ghanaians are also sitting back with passion those on the street. Say bana wumba na usa no problem. But why would we be talking against the demonstration? Why would we be talking against the protest that the concerned citizens are doing? Julobi, I went for Julobi, I think the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I went for all 3 days. On the Saturday, after during the demonstration, no comment them. It's me call 37 station, lorry station. Send me copy and it. We draw up any papa penny papa penny if you out say ma when you menya 60 plus ebi na no ka chere say yeah no faso bie no so na Ghana no essay na yen so say fitin kuma time fitin kuma a time na Ghana be ya enye Julobi was Nanaro's government, right? Enye na be ma Ghana ye. So look at the mentality of such a person in the country. Look at the mentality. Lectures or no, he's not hoping for any development in this country. He's comfortable with his living. Meanwhile, if I'm making I don't think he's a driver. I think he's one of those people who just roam about in these public spaces. But in near, I don't know the work he was doing over there. But so Shenipa mentality, not this person is ignorant. Like number one, it's ignorant. He doesn't know how things work. So, you know the answer I give to you. I told him now, Papa, we are Papa penny, but SMS me there, me come out me there, it's sure. Say, moon to my time, now come my say Ghana, no man who yansa and can't come say, leader or Mr. Kwame Nkrumah, what you are doing to help the country. Number one, young youth in your body, won't follow your footsteps. When something is wrong, we speak against it. When something is wrong, you are going to speak against it. That's what I told the man. With man, they say you.
Pan-Africanist, you may say Nelson Mandela is rolling in his grave. And others may also say South Africa is unappreciative and racist and only targeting the low-hanging fruits, which to some extent, that's actually true, ladies and gentlemen. But I have a responsibility to lay the axe to the root, ladies and gentlemen. I have a responsibility to be honest and as objective as possible in every video I put out, because these videos will stay here forever. It never disappears. The approach these South Africans took is completely unacceptable and actually illegal, since they don't work with the Home Affairs Department of South Africa. I think that's an embarrassment on South Africa at the highest level and should never be tolerated. But if you have been watching my videos, you should know by now that, ladies and gentlemen, I've been yelling on top of my voice every single day that it is about damn time Africans, country by country, state by state, we the African people, the black people, took the development of our individual countries seriously. I know many people won't agree with me on this. They wouldn't like my opinion, but like I said, I need to always keep up with my objectivity, no matter how awkward or uncomfortable it may sound to many. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been to South Africa.
Mr. Saros has just hammered on what I just said about we staying back home and developing our country. Let me tell you something. There's a saying that Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome didn't become an empire in just a few years. It took centuries, not if not decades. It took centuries before Rome eventually announced as a world empire. Same way as USA. USA has gone through it all. Talking of civil wars and all that. They have gone through recessions and all that. It's the three communities who are Ghana, the BS or USA water. So, but all the same, no matter what the obstacle was, they did what? They fixed it. They faced the problem head on. They grabbed the bull by its horns. And they fixed everything. And now they are reaping the benefits. And they are forefathers. And our people should put their lives on the line so their children will benefit from it. Now they also will need the same for your children. And now your forefathers didn't do the same for you. And you travel from your country to someone's country to go and enjoy those same benefits with those people whose fathers put their lives on the line for them. Do you think they will be happy with you guys? Do you think they will just accept you guys? Mumbra, money and bets and enjoy this. Come sit at the table with us. Let's feast. When your forefathers didn't what? Didn't contribute to this feast that they are about to have. France. I don't know if you guys have heard of this saying. Let them eat the cake. Let them eat the cake. Go and read about that history. About let them eat the cake in France. It was a statement that a queen, I don't know whether a queen or a princess, by one of these French people, they are monarchies. Like, you get me? During the colonization time, I think World War II thereabout. Now a come about France because their leaders was exporting all their resources to these colonial areas, to their colonies, right? They are exporting most of their resources and their money to the colonies. And coming out with about France, West, and we were crying onto their leaders. That was their monarchy back then. And they let them eat the cake because more of like they should be cannibals and they should just feed on themselves. Like they should kill themselves and eat themselves. That was the whole connotation. That was the whole understanding of let them eat the cake back then. I don't know if I may be wrong, but you can go and read the history for yourself too. In France, why is one of the superpowers in the world now. It wasn't built in a day. They had to fix things. They've gone through all these hardships now in Africa. Most African countries since years we are family. But the difference with them and ours is they saw the problem, they made up their mind and said, we want to fix the problem. And they fixed the problem. But Ghana and Africa, they are seeing the problem, but we know the causes of the problem. And we know how we can solve the problem. But say the energy, any answer count, I solve the problem. You find another route, easy route, an alternative route. And that's why still now Ghana that's why still now most African countries
I've lived in Yeovil, I've lived in Alexandria, in Braamfontein, and many other places dominated by West Africans. And I'll tell you this, those are some of the most disorganized places you could ever stay. You see how we sell stuffs in the middle of the roads in Ghana? how people literally carry their produce and second-hand products into the middle of the road in many places in our capital city, in Ghana. That's exactly what some of our brothers and sisters are doing over there in South Africa. Right there in the middle of the road in a foreign country. Who will accept this? Ladies and gentlemen, don't get me wrong, but there are some who have done so well for themselves and open shops for their businesses. But that's not what I'm describing here. And even with that one, there are serious legal business challenges that needs to be discussed. Now, let no...
But this culture of Ghanaians or West African countries selling on the road and all that, it's I like it and I don't like it. Like, it's nice and it's not nice. It's nice because someone I bet say like a way of life, and I think there's a way we can do it. Now I am more presentable now, like pleasing, right? And cause much chaos and traffic on our roads and on our streets, right? I've suggested this solution to this problem with hawkers and people selling on the streets of Ghana, especially in West Africa, most West African countries. That why don't we build the market alongside the roads? Why don't we build mini markets alongside the roads? In the sense that it seems our people, our mothers, our fathers, our brothers and sisters who go to the market to sell, they don't like the market space. I've seen that thing. Like I said, Ghana soon here say one place a ton yard. We want to be on the roads. We want to present, want the thing to be available to our customers. Right? We don't want our customers to travel to our place, like our market spaces to purchase. We want to bring the goods and services to their noses. So why can't we just build markets alongside the road? In the like this how like I think it can be done. Say the wire road, right? Road no man in your 2 lanes and yeah, like correct road and gasa. Why drainage system account, right? Why pavement where what people walk on, like pedestrians walk on, right? And bikers, maybe a bikers should be the fun. It's after that sidewalk. No side your market like small market be like say we are a 1 lane of a road for what people who want to sell on that side. And you know, even with that one, if we are able to do that, if our leaders will take this advice, this suggestion, and the you can make a law that I don't want you guys to come into the road. You guys should be on that side of the market. That mini market now here alongside the road. You guys should be on that side. Say customer and independent person or purchase product and our service. You can come out from the car and what? Come to that mini market, or you can what? Park alongside the road and what? Go to that mini market and what? And buy whatever you want to buy. And now say if we won't take that one, so now say here let's sack them all the workers and the marketmen from the roads and take them towards the market. We're taking them to the market. Let's build what? Big market spaces with affordable shops that they can rent and buy to sell their product and their services. It's two solutions. And this I thought about this solution like 5 years ago, bro. No cap. Ask most of my friends. They will tell you I've been preaching about this thing. There are so many things in Ghana here. I'm going to say, it's easy to solve these problems in this country. So why aren't our leaders doing that? There are certain things going on in this country that I don't think it should even be a problem. It shouldn't even be a headache to the people or to the country.
No one misinform you. Ghana is not a war-torn country. Ghana is not chasing our people out of this country. We are arguably one of the most peaceful country in the world, and by far the most peaceful country in Africa. I've lived in many parts of Africa, and so that is my opinion. I've seen it all. But because we have allowed our politicians to make life a living hell for us for so long in this country, now we have to look towards other places for solutions. Simple solutions. Let's be honest with ourselves. What have we done about those?
And one of Mr. Ghana is not a war-torn country. Ghana is the most peaceful country in Africa, if not the #1 peaceful country in Africa. And because of petty problems, Yeah, see it must solve it. Leaders can solve. Right? There are certain problems that it's not in our capacity or our capacity can solve. But rather our leaders, the authorities can do it, can solve these problems for us. And they are not any big problem here. But because of these problems, we are migrating to other countries. Which doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. We are allowing our politicians to steal from us, to rob us, to treat us what? Unfairly. Politicians in US this can you get Ghanaians to support the politicians when we arrest these politicians. Our phone this can win I heard something about our system that if a politician or someone steals from the state, the person can accept that ampa mewia or mansika, but I've forgotten the English word that they use. There's a certain broadcasting we use. Is it what scaling or something like that? Say maybe and as can meet me training now. What message are you telling people who have been stole from the state yet? What message are you putting across? So okay, I can't steal from my fellow brother or sister, right? Because I'll be caught and beaten to death. I'll be mobbed to death. But I can steal from the state. I can steal from the country. And yachimia, mega so but mama me meet me to scan. Meet me to. That's the message you are putting across. It encourages people to steal more from the state. NEC Eba, Obano, the special prosecutor, say one. Up to death, nobody has been arrested. NSS, Sheska, and that woman, every year from Abai and from NSS graduates, they are doing NSS. Skana here, but she went ahead to steal. And up to the end, the revelations of that case. Then you get Ghanaians. Munjom, Nescano, you have a brave, Nescan command in Cassi, and a Munjom. Then you say, if you say, or no one book Nisika, and yeah. But now that the uncle ever began the one seeker, or three egg at that boys, I'm a good pan. Ghanaians, my being new, my need to form yo.
Of those politicians. Now, many times our politicians are not even the reason why many people leave this country. There are many Ghanaians who are gainfully working or employed in this country. And for some unexplainable reasons, which I suggest many times, reasons for wanting to be known as traveled abroad, wanting to gain some form of respect in society for traveling overseas, which is mainly as a result of disbelief in our system and sometimes because of our low self-esteem or chasing after some greener pasture out there, sometimes also because we don't feel we are getting ahead in our own country, ladies and gentlemen, and we want to go to other countries. We abandon everything we have here and leave to elsewhere in search for something I have no idea about. All the way to Pakistan, Ghanaians are traveling. What is the meaning of this? I told you the story of a formal education supervisor from Ghana I met in Malaysia who resigned from his role working for the Ghana Education Service and went all the way to Malaysia seeking greener pastures and ended up selling fake watches in Malaysian villages. Ladies and gentlemen, that story was true. And that is sometimes the situation we have here. What is the meaning of that? You say the world is a global village. Yes. You believe you can work anywhere you want. Yes. Africa should be hospitable to all Africans. Yes. Yes to all your questions. But you forgot that everywhere you go there are rules that needs to be followed. You don't just relocate to other places and assume you are in Africa so you can just do whatever you want irrespective of the laws there. That should never be tolerated, whether in South Africa, in Ghana, or in any part of Africa, ladies and gentlemen. This is why every country has a constitution, for your information. Ladies and gentlemen, I can...
But say from a bucket, you to Ghana, who are Coco Kakakada, who are the Coco in this paper, but obviously having a bucket. No, what Coco for this Kenya, Ashen, Bemus on 2 point. I don't obviously from the Banaboga. That's fans, no, between us are fans. na the business papa bi onya oya wo koma a onya ni sika no agye no ato so tu kwan na akɔhye Pakistan ne Palestine ne Iran no mo hyehyɛ wo Afghanistan ne sa one star no mo hyehyɛ wo. Bro, what is happening in this country? Is it self-esteem? Is it loss of identity? What is our problem now, bro? Ghanaians, what is our problem? Their problem,
I can promise you this. There are many Ghanaians in South Africa who have no business living there. Just as there are many overstayed immigrants in many parts of the world who have no business living there, according to the country's laws. Let's all be honest. They've overstayed their visas. They don't pay any direct taxes to the state. They pretty much use every single social amenity in the country. And many times, some of these people are engaged in some form of illegal enterprises. Ladies and gentlemen, let me shock you with this piece of information. In South Africa, the South African Police Service knows exactly what each African country's nationals are mostly into in their own country. The police service knows it. I had a discussion with a South African police officer after he stopped me in the middle of the road and asked for my paperwork. When he realized I was a Ghanaian, he said to me, "We know what every one of you guys here do in this country for a living." And I asked him, "What do we do here?" He said, "Nigerians, we know them as peddling drugs. Ghanaians, we know them as producing fictitious documents. Mozambicans, we know them as car jackers. They hijack most of the cars in South Africa." On and on and on. The man went with a bucket list of what most African nationals do in South Africa, according to the rates at which they have been arrested. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the information they have. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not accusing our brother in the video for anything, but I need you to hear this message clearly. Africa got to wake up. We have a country to build individually. Wherever we come from within Africa, it's supposed to be the safest and the best and the most hospitable place we'll ever have. Let this sink into your mind. Therefore, we have to make that a priority. Every single African country have a huge problem to deal with. Listen, this same South Africa that many countries from Africa people are traveling to has the highest unemployment rate in the world. To begin with, they are struggling with crime.
Highest unemployment rate. Hwɛ ɔman a wotu kwan akɔsɛ wokɔhwɛ adwuma paa yɛ agiskapa ɛde bi abɛhwɛ fie no wɔn they have the highest unemployment rate in the world. It's no, is it that we don't know about this? Okay, me, this is my first time hearing about this, about South Africa. Alright? But some earlier in the video, he said, there's nowhere sweeter than what? Than home. Nowhere cool. Also, we feel quite well. Obi fear, or feel it. So also fear a watcher, obi there or would it. It's too free, because you feel like, yeah, it's not good. You can't make it in this country. You've lost faith and trust in our system. If you are going somewhere else, you guarantee when I was maybe I will come. That place is better than what you are already facing. You see, the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. The devil you know is better than the angel you don't know.
And even power stability, they have their hands full with their own problems. So what do you expect to happen in that country when they see you in their community after a couple of years and you are buying a house and a car and carrying around their finest women? Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think will be going on in their minds? I mean, let's be honest for a minute. If you live in Ghana as a Ghanaian and you see a Nigerian guy move into your community with nothing, and in a short period of time he's pretty much moving like a boss, how would you treat or perceive that Nigerian guy? You can call it jealousy or envy, but believe me, it is a natural state of the human experience. I am not encouraging anyone to harass any African in South Africa. I think that's unlawful and needs to stop. But I'm also saying to Ghanaians and to Nigerians and to the rest of Africans living in other parts of the world, and to those who intend to travel for greener pasture's sake, wherever you intend to go to, it is either you are going to obey the laws or be careful. Get involved. This is what is most important. Get involved in the development of your own country. whether through the politics or content making or through developing your personal business, because that is your best bet. Look right there where you are from and get your hands busy with doing something that provides a solution to people's problems. That's how you see the success you are chasing after. Make your own country the focus, because other countries are already intolerant towards us. They are already not tolerating us, ladies and gentlemen. In Europe today, you have towns and communities completely hijacked by African immigrants who are actually calling for changes in the laws of the cities and the towns they live in now as immigrants.
Wati the Ekoswaha say there are people, there are immigrants in Europe who have hijacked towns and villages and spaces in those European countries, and are calling on the government of these countries that they are currently living in to do some changes to accommodate them. Say obeti asiesa yeti Ghana ha Nigeria niba aso obesi ne ho hene wa ha no yeti asiema no yeti asiema no say yeti ekro na bia one day Nigerians omom twetwa more ne sanyema no all of a sudden they are like, yo, Ghana ban gientum say yeso yeka Ghana na pepe bi mai na yenta yensi en ho hene wo ho yensa, let's do our own thing. Yeti asie no, we won't agree to that, right? So why don't we then stay back in our countries and be the kings? We feel like we are, because yani sebu ye baby say or this year edana akwa obi ma so meboa, or this year edana akwa obi ma so. It is a back on me and you are king. You can't take that same kinship attributes and yini nyam fa nko obi ma so. Now go live that same kinship life over there. It won't work. The people over there won't accept you. The people over there won't accept you. It won't work. It's for your own peace of mind, for your own stability. You know, now come there. They do him and do when you audition would no come more pepe.
This is absurd. Meanwhile, our politicians are moving around as though they are some kind of kings and wasting away our resources, and we are here looking on. Ladies and gentlemen, we need that same energy in our individual countries. Can't you see South Africa is overburdened? Can't you see the local South African isn't doing well economically, ladies and gentlemen? In fact, can't you see the economy is captured by Westerners? Listen, the only reason they confront people, these people confront people in the streets, is because those are the people at their level. I'm talking about the South Africans. Those are what we call the low-hanging fruits. These South Africans don't have the opportunity, any chance, nor the effrontery to take their frustrations on the white monopoly capitalists who have captured the economy, because they are unreachable and untouchable. They know this. They don't even know what to do with the ANC party that has driven the economy down since they took charge some 30 plus years ago. The only people they can reach or target is you, the African immigrant, the immediate African immigrant in their community. And truth be told, ladies and gentlemen,
someone said, what can I say? I'm breaking it down. The reason why the South Africans attack their fellow African immigrants and our national people is because the white people are the who have captured their economy. They are in the Trasacos, they are in the East Lagos in South Africa. Now making Zoti Abokobi Oti Choco in South Africa. Obey their faka efitiwo akọ Trasaco Valley. Say Okokachi Bonibi say ofu Ukromana. You're taking your jobs. Wabe capture your job opportunities. Wabe ji we economy na ide afa akentensu. Ube draw crap on the street for credit pamo. It's no immigrants no and African nationals no money omote choko woni abokobi ne Jamestown ne Pwase in South Africa. Omo na e nkofo amoye den. They are attacking now because those are the people on their level. Those are the people they can reach. Those are the people they are seeing on a daily basis, right? It's no, and yet necessarily said they don't like Africans. What must I say? I did a video about this same xenophobia. Then when one Nigerian tried to repeat what his fellow Nigerian tried to do in this country by installing himself as a king in South Africa, and I think most South Africans came into my comment section and they were like, yo, we are not xenophobic, right? We are not xenophobic, but we are trying to fix our country. And it's true that the whites or this white people, they are the main cause. They are the main reason why we most South Africans know. Yet, like, we are struggling. But the truth again is, we fighting against this bigger problem. Our fellow African nationals are also a problem, right? They are also what? Eating our way. They add up to this bigger problem. And you need to be able to what? To solve a problem. You have to what? To solve a big problem. You have to what? Chop it down into pieces. To be able to go through an elephant, you need to chop it down into pieces, right? Or you need to solve the easier one in it before you try thinking of the difficult ones in it. And that's what they are doing right now. That's what South Africans are doing. And again, I'm condemning the act of them being violent and harassing people and not involving the authorities, not involving their immigration. I'm condemning it. But again, because you are in their country. You are in their country now.
This situation could easily happen to every African country. Looking at how foreigners are dominating, we need to stay home and fight for what is ours. Develop what we have. Our politicians are selling us out to foreign investors. That's what we need to stand up against, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't stay here and develop what we have, we will never be respected and never treated as people with equal intrinsic values. Ghana is your home. Come home. There is life right here in Ghana. It's okay to stay right here. You can make it right here in Ghana. That's my take on this.
But I'll go do my research on it. I don't understand that proven, but it sounds interesting.
If you like my ideas, and if you don't, swipe next. The truth must be told exactly how it is. I'll see you in the next one. My name is Cyrus, and bye bye for now.
So this is what's happening in South Africa, relating in relation to African nationals or African immigrants in South Africa, right? And Mr. Cyrus has said his piece. I've also said my piece. This is not our first time talking about this conversation or this topic, and we've always been clear and direct that Ghanaians should come back home and help fix this country. Right? I'm not saying it's wrong to travel to someone else's country, but the problem is, majority of the people, someone who could be man, so some could share greener pastures. That's where the problem is. Say, nipa 1,000, right? Like if it's a few number of you guys traveling to someone's country to work in search of greener pastures, it makes sense. But some who be brave, obi man who say be share. That's where the problem is, because we are going to compete with the indigenous people over there, with the local people over there, for these same jobs and social amenities and all that. You are going to compete with them. And if it's not enough, that's where this whole confusion and this whole experience started. Yet Kroma na Mahama Ebeka say they be born Panama Nigeria, because on person one day that's no one say 1 million Nigerians as some who Ghana, and he made the reason for him making that statement clear, the effect of 1 million Nigerians coming into Ghana on our economy, on our infrastructures, on our facilities, on our systems. The same way, I go by the name Nyama, and this is Ghana First show or program. If it's your first time coming across content on this channel and find value in it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like and comment. Hope to catch you on next episode. I'm out.